Peace in practice, building harmonious schools and communities. No, to in our speaker this evening, who is also a very good friend of mine, is a licensed chemist and a licensed chemical technician. He is also a college instructor, and one of the pioneering officers of Leaders of Excellence Alliance for Development Philippines, or LEAD-PH. He is also a co-founder of Project Step Up, or Student and Teachers Empowered for Peace, which is funded by Equal Access International Philippines through the project Communities and Schools Leading in the Fight Against Terrorism, or CSLIF. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you our first speaker this evening, Mr. Christian Benedict Rosario. Christian, the floor is yours.
So good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Chris.
Yes. So wait lang, share ko muna ang screen. By the way, everyone, good evening and thank you for joining for tonight's session pala, together with Ira and Ruel Pugoy. Let me share my screen. Wait. Oh, Ruel,
Yes, Chris.
anong makita sa screen?
The whole screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Makita ang presentation?
Yes, yes. But can
Sige.
you... Yes,
Okay.
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 Oh, wait
Sige,
lang, Ged. Before
everyone.
we proceed, no, gusto ko lang gid nga i-inform ang mga participants today that Christian Benedict Rosario is so far the one or the first and the only nga naka-receive sang, ano ganito, best in,
Outstanding...
ano ganito ga? Social
Outstanding award for
science.
social science.
yes.
Oh,
Yes,
from
Who
ma'am.
is not
STEM.
a humanities and social sciences student. So, by far, he is the only non-HUMS
Humes.
student who have received the award for outstanding for social sciences award.
Yes. Thank you for that. Wait lang. Hello, Bridget. Yes, wait lang. Let me open my cam. Ay, okay. Sige, sige. Mabatian ako po.
Yes, Chris.
Yes, sige. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the interruption, everyone. I'm still figuring out. And I hope, okay na ba, Pogs?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Now, good evening, everyone. Again, I am Christian Benedict Rosario, and today I was tasked with I was tasked to tackle about one of our core or one of our activities in Lead Philippines, in which was chosen by Equal Access International Philippines through CSLIF to be funded together with Ruel Pugoy and Wilton Duhapa. Now, again, I am Christian Benicusor, RCH, a chemist, and one of the founder of Project Step Up. Project Step Up. Now, Step Up, which means students and teachers empowered for peace. Now, one of our goals or one of our challenges pala in figuring out this Project Step Up was the peace corner in the classroom. And I think the DepEd classrooms have a peace corners. If I think dati, yung hindi pa na-revise yung provision for yung walang design na classrooms. Tapos meron doong peace corner in which literally sa corner lang. And reality speaking, hindi yun pinapansin or hindi yun binabasa ng mga students. That's why that's one of our challenges, na to really uplift and to really have the conversation of peace, sustainable peace in classroom games. That's why we came up with Students and Teachers Empowered for Peace. Now, one of our challenge or one of the guide questions is, why do we need to empower youth and transform youth in the community in order to coexist in a sustainable development measures? Yeah, that's one of our questions. Now, you as a student, as a UMS, I assume all of you are UMS students, what will be your role to empower communities, or what will be your step toward making change in the community? Now, one of the objectives of our project is to build a strong community of peace advocates in the schooling community, to capacitate or to conduct capacity building training for teachers and students and young leaders, and again, to conduct school tour campaigns and peace education to further push for sustainable peace in schools and communities. Now, basically, the main objectives of our project was to establish and was to initiate that peace education must be lowered down to classroom pace. That's one of our main objectives. Now, what's with the program? Yan, with Level Up program, Lakbay Kalinaw, Scale Up campaign, or Pagtanaw, in which during our session or during our conduct implementation is we conducted all of these. The Level Up program, in which yung mga chosen peace advocates namin were undergone a series of master classes regarding peace education, social media, advocacy training, and such. Then we have Lakbay Kalinaw, a school tour featuring workshop and training for peace education, leadership, and cultural sensitivity, in which first na Lakbay Kalinaw namin was during the SKSU last 2022. Yan. That's our first stop. Then we have Scale Up program. It is just a series of call to action campaign statements through social media campaign. Well, basically, the setup was not just about training. It's all about utilizing social media as a platform to call to action or to campaign for sustainable peace education. Then we have Pagka Now. This is the official newsletter of the Project Step Up Part 1, in which later makikita natin or like you will access the full version of that later on. Ibibigay namin yan mamaya. Now, yeah, we have the project highlights, yung master classes, Palad para sa Kapayapaan, Lipad Kalinaw, Pagtanaw the newsletter, Mensahe para sa Kalinaw, and yung Mensahe para sa Kalinaw as well na social media campaign. Now, yung mga steps namin, dito, like the programs, inclusive here was all about peace education. And yung master classes, during Step Up, yan, kami din yung, as one of the graduates of Equal Access International Step Up Tech Camp, we underwent also training on how to utilize social media and how to utilize um, other platforms for us to have our own advocacy. Kami din yung nag-train sa mga peace advocates namin regarding social media training on how to really amplify our voices in social media and even in physical aspects. Yan. This is one of our highlights. I think we are proud that we have the Palad para sa Kapayapaan, in which all of the peace advocates pledge to fight for a sustainable peace education. Yan, the five fingers on our hands symbolizes that peace education must be transformative, holistic, inclusive, sustainable, and progressive. Yan. Now imagine that the peace advocates have call to action campaign towards sustainable peace education. How much more all of the students, you assume, how will you utilize your voice? How will you utilize your intellect? How will you utilize your power to create a change in the community? Why? Because we are also students as well. Students kami that time during implementation of this project. And one of our challenges was the time. Yung paano magsaswak yung schedule namin tatlo. And later on, it was all successful. Nagkapagtanda kami ng step up. Yan, yung lipad kalinaw, paper plane activity in which all of the students wrote their message toward peace. Yan during the I think during it was Cambunian, or correct me if I'm wrong. Or basta it was during the SKSU. In the SKSU. Imagine all of the students in that quote, in that GIF, really wrote the message towards peace. And imagine the power of their messages. Kasi ibig sabihin yan, lahat tayo, or lahat ng students na makikita nyo dyan, really calls for a sustainable peace education. Yan. If you have internet with you, can you I am allowing you to scan the QR code kasi you will nandun yung access for the whole copy of the Pagtanaw, the official newsletter ng Project Step Up. Yan. I will
Hello?
Chris, are you
Na,
still
na, na,
there?
na-lock, na-stuck si Christian?
Chris?
Oh.
All right. We're just waiting for Christian to come back. Meron lang konting technical difficulties. Yes.
hello po, sorry.
Yes,
Sorry.
Chris. All right.
Yeah.
Christian yeah. Nawala ang screen mo, Chris. So I think we
Yeah,
could-
sorry. Yeah. So, saan din nag-end ang presentation?
Pagtanaw.
Okay, yeah. Good. Sige, wait. Sorry everyone for that. Hello, Pogs. Makita na ang presentation?
Yes, Chris.
Good. Sige. I would like to ask if na-access niyo ba yung QR code natin at nakita niyo yung whole version ng newsletter natin? Ayan. I think nakita niyo lahat or na-access niyo or na-scan niyo yung QR code for that. Now, that newsletter alone was the summary of the whole journey ng Project Step Up namin. Tatlo. Yan. Yan. Frontline, how yung core memories ng Project Step Up natin, and also the sustainability plan on how we will conduct Project Step Up Phase 2 and 3. And also to for the information everybody, the newsletter was presented during the town hall in Apple View Hotel, Davao City, in which we three presented our project step up together with the stakeholders, international and national government organizations, and also other peace influencers in Mindanao. Yan, we have message para sa Kalinaw. You could access this in the Lead Philippines Facebook page. Yan. Then you have Sibol ng Pangako. Also have a sticky notes wrote, and all of the students in SKSU RIT, I wrote a message as well in about peace. Yeah, step up in numbers. Yeah, we have 5 stakeholders. We have 5 trained teachers, 25 peace advocates, 400 college students, then 300 plus palad para sa kapayapaan pledged, and 30,000 online reach. Now, statistically speaking, the project Step Up really um, nalagpasan niya yung target namin na data or target namin statistics about um, on the participants on the online reach. Yeah, imagine all of these numbers pledge for a sustainable peace education. Now that's the challenge for us. How we will acknowledge all of these numbers, how we will acknowledge that all of these numbers pledge for sustainable peace education. Yeah.
In the vast array of opportunities, one must look at the possibility of becoming someone to ignite change within them or in the large pool of social agents in the community.
And that was Grace A. Dignadice, one of the peace advocate, and yan yung kanyang voice towards she managed to how she managed to have a how she managed to gain knowledge towards our project Step Up. These are our partner institutions. We have Equal Access International, Province of Sultan Kudarat, our Mindanao, SKSU, Kalinaw Club of SKSU, and yes, Leaders of Excellence Alliance for Development, Philippines. Now here is the core team of the Project Step Up. We have your Ruel Pugoy, we have Sir Wilton Biduhapa, and me, Sir Christian Benedict Rosario. Yan. Now, for us to empower youth, is hindi lang siya dapat in one area. Or like, hindi lang siya dapat natatapos in one training. Kasi yan yung kulang towards sustainability. Hindi lang dapat siya natatapos sa isang training. Say for example, tree planting. It should not be tree planting. If for example, may nakikita kayong organization na nagsasagawa ng tree planting or NGO or government organization, that is not sustainable. Why? Because ideally speaking, you planted tree. Yun lang. Dapat we need to nurture the tree. That's why we need the trend currently is tree nurturing. We need to grow and nurture for us ay for the tree. Yan, dapat tree nurturing. Yan yung ginagawa ng sustainability plan, program. How will you able to empower and transform you in a larger scale, in a larger years? You train your youth one day, anong next? You train the whole school for 2 days, anong next? That will be the challenge, the next step. Now, in Project Step Up, we have sustainability plan ahead. We have Level Up Program 2.0, Lakbay Kalinaw as well, or we have School Tour and Scale Up campaign on our social media. Yan, key takeaways namin, three C's. We have to be calm, communication, and be coachable in time. And also, it applies in empowering youth or in transforming youth, you as well as students in schools or in communities. Why? Because if we have these three C's, we empower ourselves, we transform ourselves, and by empowering and transforming ourselves, we empower others. And I assume all of you are leaders dito, lahat, and you need to be coachable, you need to communicate, and you need to be calm. And also of one of the highlights is you have to pick your funder. You have to pick your team, you have to pick your project. Say for example, in your community, kulang ng literacy, reading literacy. Now you as a leader, what should you do? Anong plano natin? Feeding program? Is it tama ba yun or hindi? Now in other community, may isang area na kalbo doon. Anong need doon? Tree growing, tree nurturing. Yan. We need to really we really need to think holistically. What should be the pros and cons of this? What should be the hows, whys of your project, the to-dos and not to do in your project, para at least at the end of the day, you will um um is ma-achieve niyo yung objectives niyo as a group. Yan, you contact us in the Philippines. Now, basically, that is a step up. Students and teachers empowered for peace. And the team, the lead, hope that on our sustainability plan, on our Step Up Project 2.0, is one of you or most of you will undergo the training. Or like, we anticipate that all of you will also joining other activities and other organizations. Again, Step Up, students and teachers empowered for peace. We redefine the role of the youth one step at a time. That ends my slide.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. Just to give a quick highlight for everyone, just a quick heads up of why we have had presented Project Step Up as in line with our education topic this evening. It is because we are encouraging everyone to become one of our peace advocates. Because most of us I myself in the community development work now has this foundation actually of just joining leadership trainings, community seminars, something like that. And I want you guys to be exposed in that kind of trainings, in that kind of exposure in the field. So with that presentation, I hope that Christian has had the chance to encourage you all to volunteer, join, and participate in different activities, not just in school, but outside the school and community, basically. Because sabi nga nila, I don't know if it's still familiar with you, I don't know if it's still a popular phrase to you, but sabi nga nila, learning does not start and ends in the four corners of the classroom. Though it's a foundation of education, but it does not start and end in the four corners of the classroom. Sabi nga nila din, as humanities and social sciences students, the community is our priority and the society is our laboratory. No? So let's go out and experience the world, because at the end of the day, it is our laboratory. It is where our work is directed, and I think that it's very important for us to expose to them. And I don't want to, yes, famous line of Mamron, I don't want to get the spotlight from Christian. So if you have other questions, guys, regarding peace education, Project Step Up, or what does Lead Philippines is doing right now, or what are the things that you as a student could enter into, you may ask Christian about that, and I think Christian would be very willing to and very happy to answer all of your questions. If you want to answer, because if you don't know, Christian and I had started on a very surprising journey. Kami lang po ay nag-apply lang din on a link sent to us by Ma'am Ira, and that changed the entire me basically my entire career, and which led me to actually be where I am today, to being an actual community development worker. Yung mga nababasa lang nating UN agencies ngayon po ay kausap ko na at naging partners. But anyways, if you want to ask Christian about anything regarding those topics, you may ask now. Christian?
Yes, also I will also share that tatlo kasi yung core group, ay core people ng Project Step Up, and ako lang po yung nag-iisang STEM student during that time kasi lahat si Ruel and si Wilton are yung students na kagaya niyo. So big sabihin yan is if your Kuya Ruel and your Sir Wilton has the power to change the community, kayo din na mga yung students now. So big sabihin is you have to really apply all of your learnings in humanities and social sciences, because you will surely use that in the community. Kasi that's one of the primary purpose kung bakit kayo nag-use. You want to be a teacher, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a psychologist, you want to be in the humanities or social science. And one of the main goals is really to change the community. Kaya yung students, kayong lahat. So you have any questions? I am more than happy to answer. And I will send the QR code to Ruel para at least mabigay sa inyong lahat yung full copy ng newsletter namin sa Project Step Up.
Excuse me, may I butt in?
Yes, ma'am.
Like what maybe you could share the process kung paano kayo nakaabot sa puntong yan, kasi 'di ba kung tutuusin, you started at their age. Kung wala silang
Yes,
tanong, baka
yes.
yun yung ano nila. What interests
yes.
you or what motivates you?
Yes. So basically, the start of our peace influencer journey was way back 2019, 2019 March. Yung kagaya ni sinabi ni Roel, may minention lang kami ni Ma'am Ira sa isang Facebook post. We submitted kung ano yung mga requirements doon. 2019, we are also 19 years old, kagaya nyo, 2019 din. Kagaya ng mga age 2019, you're 19 years old, 18, 19-ish years old. Yeah, and we submitted the process, and luckily, Community Ruel was the pioneering batch of Equal Access International Philippines, and we underwent 5 days training in Cagayan de Oro City last March 2019. And by that, doon na nagsimula lahat nung curiosity namin towards peace influencing, advocating for peace. Why? Because curious na kami ni Ruel that time kung ano talaga yung magiging role ng youth towards changing the community. Now, by that, yun nakapag-ano kami, like, underwent series of training, and the Project Step Up was established 2022, wherein we applied for the Peace Promotion Fellowship by Equal Access International. Now, the Peace Promotion Fellowship, kailangan TETCamp graduate ka ng Equal Access International, or like nag-undergo ka ng training pala before kang makakuha or maka-apply for PPF at makakuha ng fund by that. Honestly speaking, the Project Step Up was funded by Equal Access International, by USAID and the Asia Foundation, in which we received a 50,000 seed grant na ginastos namin during our implementation. So yun yung process namin during that time. The journey was long, But still, yeah. And it will be the longest kasi we will also have sustainable plans as well. And kagaya nyo, you will also have the opportunity to really uplift your community by joining organization, by joining training. Yeah.
Yes, let me just add to that, Chris. Yes, I can really imagine myself then, um, way back then. I couldn't imagine myself to be where I am today. If I were to ask my 19 years old self. Kasi po, ako din po ay hindi naman po ganoon ka-active din when it comes to outside trainings, ganun, whatever the school may offer, yun lang. But I think what's good about challenging yourself is you are open to a lot of networks. You're open to a very huge world na marirealize mo na you are just a small fish in an ocean, no? Kasi feeling mo kasi pag nandiyan ka sa school, halos lahat kakilala mo, you're a big fish in a small pond, no? But when you're actually exposed to anything outside of school, we will realize that there is so much to learn. There is so much you want to learn actually, no? Because you're exposed to a lot of people with different walks of life. You're exposed to a lot of people coming from different areas, not just in Mindanao, but in the Philippines in entirety or even internationally. Ano po ang kagandahan nun is that you are building networks. Very pivotal po yung nangyari noong 2019 to me because that made a path for me to enter into workforce in the present. Yun po ang nagamit ko na network para po makapasok sa kung saan man po ako ngayon. So I think it's very important na wag po tayong matakot to actually try something new, no, from us, yung bago sa atin, for as long as it will help us grow. Normal lang po nakabahan na baka hindi ako kasing galing nila, and it's okay. It's very okay. Okay lang po yun. Nagsimula din naman kami ni Christian na kami I think we're the youngest in the batch na sumali nun. And it's very rare for someone coming from two tawag nito, participants coming from the same school. It's very rare. But so yun, I think it's very good. It's a very good practice na as YUM students, panindigan natin yung community-based work natin. Kasi at the end of the day, some of you will become police officers, some of you will become judge, attorneys, some of you will enter into teaching, some of you will become community development workers and social workers. And I think that it's very good that at a very young age, you will have your connection on the ground. So I think that's something that I can add. So if you have other questions, guys, I think it's now the time to ask. You can just raise your hands or you can type it in our chat so that Christian can read and answer those questions. Any questions from the group?
Wait lang, Pogs, ha? Okay, to those who rated themselves sang 4 and 3 sa active listening, labas kayo. Magtanong kayo. Why don't nagawas?
Chris, I think this question is for you to answer.
Yes.
Wait lang, Gary.
Yes.
If you're shy to ask question, no, you can write naman sa message section.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Wait lang. Meron akong nakitang question dito. What if, sir, hindi ka ganong kagaling mag-English? Okay lang ba? Yes, okay lang. If you are not, like, hindi ka talaga fluent in speaking English, it's all good. Why? Because one of the core techniques in implementation is communication. Yan. You can't express yourself in English, Tagalog, Ilonggo, Maguindanao, or your vernacular language. It's all good. As long as you, you can communicate um, to your peers, to your stakeholders, at ma-convey yung message na gusto mong maparating. Yan. It's all good na hindi ganong marunong mag-English, but you have to try to speak in English, or you have to try to be fluent in English, because later, maybe sooner or later, you will face international government organization in which kailangan mag-speak in English. But still try, I'm not allowing na hindi mag-speak in English, but you have to try na you have to try to speak in English. Meron pa dito, how to your, basically like, paano nakasurvive ang college? Well, for me, basically, um, meron kaming 2 years ng pandemic, 2019, that was my first year as a camp student. Paano na-survive ang college? Well, you have to choose your own group. You have to pick your studying technique. And one of the most important thing is you have to rest. And also you have to join organization na kaya sa schedule mo. Why? Because you have to expand your network. Lalo na if you will choose a field na more on connection. You have to really expand your connection. Yeah, you need to join organization. Yeah. Sir, what if in college, while reporting, okay lang ba na mag-Tagalog if not good in English? Well, okay lang mag-Tagalog, but it depends kasi if your subject is, if the mode of communication is in English, you will try, you have to try na mag-English. Kung hindi kaya, pwede mag-Tagalog. But you really need to try to speak in English. If Tagalog naman, or like Filipino, you have to speak in Filipino. Yun. Ganun lang. What is the difficulty of college and what are the challenges? Difficulty of college, it depends. Kasi ako as a camp student that time, the challenge for me is really the subjects. Kasi nga, ibang-iba yung subject during your senior high and during your college year. It's mahirap, but it's bearable if meron kayong studying technique and meron kayong time management. Kasi ako that time, during my years, college years, is, meron kasi akong studying technique na doon talaga ako best. Like, when I'm studying, yun talaga yung best studying technique ko. And you have to really rest talaga. Sir, as a high school student, what mindset or attitude we need to change ko para makasabay sa college journey? Is that you have to rely on yourself. That's one of the attitudes that you really need to. I really need to change that you have to rely on your groups. Why? Because in college, it's survival. You have to survive on your own. Yan. In high school, you have grouping, you rely on your leader, you rely on your teacher. But in college, you have to really rely on yourself. Sir, pwede ka maghatag sa mga technique studies para mag-communicate sa mga learners mo or yung gusto mong salihan? Pwede ka maghatag ng mga technique or strategy para mag-communicate sa mga tao lalo sa. Well, first, if you have to study the organization first. If it suits your advocacy, it suits your personality, then you have to approach the officers. Ganun. If it does not suit, if it will not suit your personality of advocacy, well, maybe hindi aligned or hindi align ang knowledge or ang background niya towards your advocacy, well, hindi talaga yan kasang-ayon sa'yo. So really need to study the organization first. What is the best lesson you learned during the college days? Is you have to pick your own core group. Yeah, that's one of my challenges talaga. You have to pick your own group na say for example, meron kang hindi alam,
Yan ang ka-RCY.
sagutan, you have to really pick a
Oo.
friend
Technical.
na you could rely on. And also, you need to widen your expectations in life. In college, hindi always perfect ka, hindi always tama yung answer mo. It's college, it's survival. You really need to think out of the box. Sir, can you please give message for us incoming college students, especially for those who are shy and have difficulty communicating with others? Well, w- um, right off the bat, message is you just need to do that. You just really need to do it confidently. Yun yung message ko like, wala kang choice, but you really need to do that. Why? Because in order for you to survive, you really need to step out of your comfort zone. That for me, that's college life. Sir, as a high school student, how can we improve our public speaking?
Gama mo ka man sa'yo.
How can we improve our public speaking? How? For me, how could you improve it? Well, we have the advent of technology. May mga tutorial na naman dyan sa, may mga tutorial naman dyan sa social media, YouTube, TikTok, you have, yeah, you can use that. You can utilize that as well. Also, public speaking is not all about English speaking. Like, kailangan hindi lang siya puro English. Pwede din Tagalog. Yan. Pwede din vernacular language. Yan. Yun lang talaga. You have to really practice in public speaking. Pwede kayong sumali ng debate. Ma'am Ira. Yan. Pwede kayong sumali sa mga debate, reporting, sanayan, practice before, outline. Say, for example, may reporting. You have to outline your reports. Yung say outline, yung mga details lang. For at least how could you effectively communicate with the students. Yun lang. Yun yung mga tips ko for that. Why? Because I myself, hindi man ako like, sorry. I did not undergo public speaking training or what. Um, sumali lang talaga ako sa debate.
Wala.
Nagipasali lang ko ni Ma'am Ira, then the rest was history. Yun lang.
Ano pa ito?
Well, basta yun lang. Practice. And also in college, sa mga, I think, most of the questions here are all ay parang college life. So you really need to set your standards, rest, and study. Yan. Any questions pa?
You
Chris,
kid.
someone is raising their hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So good evening, sir. While we're talking about empowering peace for the teachers and students, so what can you say about the issues right now, which is the confidential funds? So how can we empower the peace as a students or as a humanities and social sciences, sir?
Hot seat. Charing. Sige.
Sorry, sir.
Okay lang. How we will empower students regarding issues. Tama. Like issues in
Yes, sir. Yes,
the
sir.
community. How we will integrate peace education regarding that. For me is you as a humanities and social science students, And with the advent of technology, we really need to be informed, we really need to utilize social media and to, what you call this, to filter misinformation from factual news. Kasi now na I think with the advent of AI, with the advent of Facebook, technologies and all, is may mga misinformation, fake news, disinformation sa society, lalo na sa social media. And you as a student, you really need to read, reassess the news kung tama ba or hindi. You really need to filter out news. You really need to filter out fake news. And I suggest do not share that on your timeline kasi mas nakakadagdag pa kayo ng fake news percentage sa country natin. And I think all of us, I confidently assume na all of us students ay marunong mag-filter out ng fake news sa hindi. Yun. And how we will integrate peace education? Well, in peace education, it's not just all about like making peace and all. It's also filtering out, reassessing factual news and not spreading fake news in social media and even in physical aspect or even in the classroom. Yan. Yun lang. Like, we need to really assess, utilize. You as youth, madami na tayong like software, website to assess kung ano yung factual news sa hindi. Kasi prone ang youth sa pagpapaniwala ng fake news. Kaya ngayon pa lang, you as a humanities and social science student, you need to stop that chaos or disease. Para at least ang masishare na lang natin at maririnig at mababasa sa factual news. Yeah. And you have the power to correct someone. Basically, if may nakita kayong students or teachers na nagsispread ng fake news, well, you have to inform them na it's fake news, ganito, ganyan. Huwag mahiya or wag matakot na mag-correct ng someone. Yun. I think may question sa Did I answer your question? Tama? Sino yung nag-question na Yeah. Meron pa dito isang question na, Sir, do you have any tip in how to become fluent in English? Fluent in English in speaking or in writing? Well, in writing, you, you really need to have correct grammar. Yun lang. Like in speaking, is the one that I used was to outline my report. Yung say outline, ano lang yung mga details, key points, yun yung mga key points na sinusulat ko lang. Like, praise lang siya, or like, praise, or words. Then, yun lang yung minamanage ko, nalalagyan ko ng detail. And, you really need to prepare. Say, for example, speech, you need to prepare your speech. You have to familiarize your speech. Isa puso lahat ng speeches before speaking. You have to practice before speaking. Yun lang. You really need to practice. And don't wag matakot na mag-ask ng guidance with your peers, magpatulong kung tama ba yung ginawa ko, tama ba yung grammar, tama ba yung sentence structures, ganyan. Basta the whole how to be fluent is you really need to practice. May isa pa. Sir, what is your advice po sa mga hindi gano'ng mataas ang confidence nila becoming college? Hindi mataas ang confidence sa college, well, college was all about survival. And walang, um, and there are no room na kailangan hindi ka magiging confident. When we say confident, hindi ka dapat, I like, hindi lang siya confident in public speaking, confident in reciting. You have to really appreciate yourself na kailangan ko maging confident in a way na makakasurvive ako sa college. Wala tayong choice but we really need to be confident in surviving college. Yeah. Sir, as a working student po, what is your advice para makasabay sa school? Well, time management. Time management lang yan during like, your working student. Also, wag matakot mag-ask sa mga teachers natin kasi as a as an instructor as well. Wag kang matakot mag-approach sa mga teachers mo regarding your case as a working student. Yeah. Kasi like you have to really have internal agreement para at least both ways it's a win-win situation. Na sir, pwede ka maghatag ng scenarios dito sa trees. Well, the three C's are calm, communication, and coachable. Well, during my sige, scenarios during project step up. Yeah. Project step up was not project step up if hindi kami nag-approach or if we three, Ruel and Wilton, is hindi kami naging coachable. Hindi magiging project step up if we did not communicate with the funder, with the participants, with the team, with the facilitators. Yan. Hindi dapat the project step up was established because of the three C's. We communicated, the three of us. We communicated with the partners, institutions, participants, facilitators. We need to become in a way na there will be challenges talaga. May mga challenges talaga. We usually need to be calm lang, like hingang malalim, yan, mag-isip. Then also a coachable na kailangan we let ourselves na maging vulnerable and accept criticisms. Yan. In order for us to establish project step up. And it also applies on your sa life, you have to be calm, you have to communicate, and you have to be coachable. Yeah, to survive. May mga question. Sir, as a high school student, can you give me a message? Give me a message for some of us yung nahihirap at hindi gano'n nakakasabay. What do we need to do to improve and develop ourselves before po kami pumasok sa college? If nahihirapan kayo today, you have to double your effort. Yeah. No flowering overs. You really need to double your effort. Why? Because again, college is survival. You really need to double your effort, practice. Kasi walang yun talaga yung one of my you need to improve. Yeah. Sir, according to your discussion earlier about these programs, my question is what is the importance of the programs on how wait lang. Sir, according to your discussion about the peace program, my question is what is the importance of this program on how we can step up for peace? Well, basically, Project Step Up was an awareness campaign project for sustainable peace education. Yan. The program itself was to cater the knowledge of students and teachers kung ano talaga ang peace education. Hindi lang siya peace corner sa classroom. Yeah. That's yun talaga yung and you as a youth, how could you contribute for sustainable peace education is use your power, use your voice, use your platform, social media in spreading peace. in spreading factual news. Yeah, about. Sir, what advice or strategies can you give to leaders to encourage their group members to participate more? How do we handle them po? Well, strategies or advice is to group members is you really need to communicate with them. Communicate, chat them. Uy, ikaw, gusto mo ba? Like, dapat makabuli ka diri ha, kay kailangan ta niya sa group. Uy, ikaw, dapat amo ni siya, dapat amo ni himuon mo as a participant member, amo ni himuon mo. Pa-check mo sa akon kung tama ano. Amo na siya, communicate with your group. If hindi talaga siya, like, say for example, hindi talaga siya susunod sa'yo as a leader, well, you have to communicate with teacher na ma'am or sir, gihatagan ko na siya sang damo nga chance, tapos wala Japon siya naghatag. Dito na ang time na you have to step up as a leader. You have to do, it's either tanggalin mo siya or it's either huwag na siyang isali sa grupo. You know? Sir, what are the common financial mistakes that college students make and how can we avoid them? Financial mistake is pag bumibili ng hindi kailangan. Yan. Say for example, may nakita ka sa classmate mo na meron siyang ganito, dapat meron ka ng ganyan. That's a financial mistake. So you have to really budget your finances sa college, lalo na if your school is malayo from your home. How can we avoid them? Well, abstinence. Kailangan isipin, what's the priority? Ano ang least priority? Ano ang the most na kailangan prioritize to spend? Sir, how can good communication help a leader guide them to reach their goals? Sir, how can good communication help a leader guide their team to reach their goal? Sir, how can a good communication? Well, good communication is it's a process in which you communicate with your members effectively. When we say good communication, kailangan effective mo ma-convey yung message mo to your team. And by which, pag meron kayong good and effective communication, you will reach your goals. Say, for example, in a meeting, kailangan direct to the point na dapat amo ning himuon ta, dapat amo ning objectives sa for the project. You as a leader, you have to really open your mind na may mga times na hindi makaka-communicate ang member sa'yo. You have to open your mind na you have to approach them. Unahan mo na sila na, oy, dapat amo na himuon, dapat mali ni siya, dapat amo niyang kailangan, need na himuon. Yan. You have really to communicate with your leader. And you have to accept also criticism as a leader na, ay, dapat leader ko, dapat ako masunod. No. Dapat you need to listen to your members of them. So according to sa video nga gipakita mo kay na kato mga students na nagasulat ng question, what is the main purpose of that, sir? Well, the main purpose of that is the activity again was to really write during that time, to write a message, parang siyang time capsule na in which on our phase 2 is babasahin or like ipapakita sa mga next participants kung ano yung nagawa ng phase 1. Para siyang para siyang like project ng step up phase 1 na pwede siyang makita pwede siyang i-present sa step 2. Phase 2 I mean. Sir, do you have any tips on how to balance academics and social life? Oh, I think this will be we will just entertain last 2 questions now. Yeah. Sir, do you have any tips on how to balance academic and social life? Well, how to balance? Like how to balance? Again, you have to prioritize first your acads. Like for example, you have to finish first all of the activities before social life. You have to finish first. For example, in my quiz tomorrow, You have to really prioritize na mag-study then before mag-socialize. Yeah, you have to really set your priorities first. Ano talaga sa isip mo yung mas priority? Yeah. Sir, I am not a leader, but how can we communicate? How can we be? How can we be a good community leader, and how can we help our members? Sir, I'm not a leader, but how can we be a good community leader, and how can we help our members? Well, say for how to be a good community leader is you have to really listen sa mga suggestions ng mga members natin. Say for example, you have to really assess yung members and your community kung ano talaga yung ano ang need or urgent na plan or like urgent na kailangan ng help or ng training. Yeah. Then also how can we help our members is you have to lend yourself. You have to be available sa mga members. Yeah. Sir, what are the tips to avoid college? Huh? The tips to avoid college or maybe tips to avoid, what do you mean avoid college? Sir, any advice on how to stay focused and avoid distraction and social media and other things? Don't use your phone. Pag, or like say for pag don't use your phone, lalo na pag studying, or like if you're using your phone to study, you have to turn off all of your social media. Yeah. Please, you have to discipline yourself na wag muna mag-social media. Or you can use Pomodoro technique. That was like, yan kasi yung ginamit ko during my board exam review. Pomodoro technique para at least effectively um, ma-enhance yung ano natin, yung focus and mental fortitude. Someone raised their hand. Hilas.
Good
Yeah, Hilas.
evening, sir. So my
Good evening.
question, sir, is what is the best advice that you can give to those students and for me to survive my college journey?
Okay. For me, reality speaking, one of the best advice is to really set your priorities. Say for example, yung may mga questions kanina, how ipa-prioritize mo ba ang social media muna before activities or activities muna before social media? Because 24 hours, nandiyan na yung social media. Yes, you could access the 24 hours. Now, your activities, you have to lend ample amount of time. And may nabasa kasi akong quote na, like, okay lang na mag-suffer ako today on my acad life kaysa sa mag-suffer ako in the long run. Ganon. You really need to really set your priorities. And you really need to have as well, again, core group or friends na masurvive ng lahat ang college. Kasi hindi nyo yan kaya na kayo ng isa. Yan. I think that was the last question. Or you could ask me naman, like, on social media about college journey. Yan. Ruel, Ma'am Ira.
Yes, thanks. Anyways, guys, if you have other questions to Christian, we have our link, just like kahapon, so that you could ask your questions there on our feedback form, and maybe we can forward that to Christian, and Christian would be very willing to answer all of your questions. So thank you so much, Chris, for your session. Thank you so much. I think we will be. Yes, Chris.
Yeah, thank you everyone, and I hope and pray that your college life and your future life will be good. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Chris. All right, guys. We will now be moving on with our next topic. Okay, as what I've said, you can ask your questions to Christian anytime. Wait lang. All right. Your next topic, guys, would be voters education, and this would actually be presented by someone else, but unfortunately, our speaker wouldn't be able to come and join us this evening. But I have been tasked once again to deliver the presentation to you guys. So yes, bahala na kamo, masumuka mo sa itsura ko and sa boses ko, but you don't have other choice. But I hope you can still learn with whatever I will be talking about this evening. Can everyone see my screen? I think I'm sharing my entire screen. All right. Okay. Nakikita ba ang aking screen, guys? Everyone, can anyone?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
All right. Sige. Once again, good evening, everyone. To this evening, we will be talking about your role as a youth voter, making informed choices. So, empowering the future through responsible voting in the Philippines. No, this is very timely, and very relevant to our country by Pia Alonso Wurzbach. This is very relevant to you, especially because I know some of you are first time voters and second time voters for for local election, national election as well. Can you give me a thumbs up kung sino dito ang unang beses na boboto ngayong election? Can you give me a thumbs up, guys? Okay, medyo marami-rami. Okay, thank you. Can you give me a heart reaction kung kayo ba ay registered voters? Heart reaction if you are a registered voters. All right. Madami-dami din. All right, thank you so much. Sad reaction if you're still not a registered voter. Meron ba? Sad reaction if you're still not a registered voter. Medyo madami-dami din. All right. All right. Medyo madami-dami din siya. So, all right, thank you so much for participating. So this time, we will be tackling about what are the steps and ano ba yung mga dapat nating bantayan when it comes to this election. All right, wait for a second. All right, wait for a second, guys. Just give me 2 minutes. Wait na.
Okay, while waiting for Sir Ruel, pwede man mag-water break. Anay ka munira. CR break.
Makaon, ma'am.
All right. Hello, everyone. Sorry for that. I just have to may inasikaso lang for a quick sec. But anyways, let us continue with our discussion. So ayun nga, sabi ko, tonight we will be discussing about what are the things that is need to be done when it comes to election. Ano ba yung mga dapat nating gawin? What are the things that we need to observe during the election? But first and foremost, we have to learn what is the foundation of election in the Philippines, no? All right. But first we have to know what are the foundations of elections in the Philippines, and what are the things that we need to observe in the Philippines based on our laws, no? So here are the things. First and foremost, penalties for violating voting rights. Election offenses such as vote buying, coercion, or fraud are punishable by law under Public Act 6646. That is very fundamental. Bakit ito ang inuna ko? At bakit ito ang inuna? It's because any violation of this is punishable by law. I think and I believe that we have to be very clear about this. Participating in any of these offenses is punishable by law. Vote buying, coercion, or fraud in election are considered as election offenses and is punishable by law. What is the COMELEC's role in election is to ensure fair, honest, and orderly election. And what is the role of the youth in election in the Philippines? Well, in the Philippine context, we have Republic Act 10742 or the Sangguniang SK Reform Act of 2015, which inlined and outlined empowering youth leaders, which young leaders such as us were given a platform to actually lead and participate in electoral voting, electoral process, and actually lead in in governance, no, in our locality. So Philippine laws on voting, we have also the 1987 Constitution, of course, that grants us the right to suffrage or the right to vote for every Filipino citizens age 18 and above, provided they meet residency requirements. Now, 18 and above for national local election, but 16 and to 30 for SK elections. Emphasizes the Constitution also emphasizes voting as both a right and a duty to ensure democratic participation. Now, Omnibus Election Code or Batas Pambansa bilang 881 serves as the legal foundation for conducting election, ensuring transparency, and regulating voter behavior. No? Sa Omnibus Election Code po nakapaloob lahat ng mga rules and regulation of a fair and just election. No? It covers processes such as voters registration, campaigning, and election procedures. Ano pong mga nakapaloob dito? Nakapaloob po dito yung kailan ba ang dapat na voters registration? Kailan ang tamang pangangampanya? Ano ang mga uri ng dapat na pagpapangampanya? At iba't ibang uri ng mga election procedures, no? Voters Registration Act of 1996 or Public Act 8189 simplifies voters registration to make it more accessible, especially for the youth and marginalized. Ito naman pong voters registration is in-outline po na dapat ibinababa ni COMELEC ang voters registration to the ground and actually update an accurate voters database. No, kasi minsan meron tayong mga issue na nakikita na sinasabi nilang kahit patay na bumoboto pa. And this Voters Registration Act of 1996 provides the outline of actually ensuring an updated database, no, for election. Why voting matters, no? Bakit isang boto lang naman? Kung hindi ako boboto, it wouldn't make a difference kasi isa lang naman ang boto ko. But these are the things why voting matters. Voting is your right. And of course, your responsibility as a Filipino citizen. So while voting is your right, voting is also your responsibility. Now, as youth, you have the power to shape the nation's future. How? Because imagine your single vote when unified together. Your vote can actually shape and, shape the entire future of your locality, no, and the nation in general. This decision made by leaders affect education, jobs, and the community. So, well, ang mga desisyon na ginagawa ng ating mga leader in our locality affects, no, yung ating paggalaw sa komunidad. And how we can control that is actually on deciding on what kind of leader we could elect. No? Kasi doon po nakaka-apekto din po siya indirectly to us because as student, it would affect education program, to our parents, it would affect jobs and the community in general, safety and security issues, pumapasok dyan, gender-based violence, violence against women and their children. Depending on the program that the locality is focusing on, our vote has the power to redirect the attention of those leaders into the things that really matters the most in the locality. The power of the youth voters. Bakit natin sinasabing makapangyarihan ang boto ng mga kabataan sa Pilipinas? Because according to COMELEC, 52% of registered voters in the Philippines are youth aging from 18 to 30 years old, no? So within that range, 52%, it's more than the half of the registered voters in the Philippines, and it is enough vote for if the youth could come together on a singular and unified voices, it is more than enough to suffice and to satisfy to elect a leader that the youth would actually vote, no? Kung sino yung iboboto nila. Youth votes can swing elections and influence policies. How? Kasi nga po, 52% of the registered voters, ibig sabihin, sobra sa kalahati ang registered voters ay mga kabataan. Meaning to say, it could actually affect the way election would run. Kaya kung napapansin niyo po, most of our politicians are actually focusing their attention now to the youth kasi alam nila na most of our voters are in the youth sector. Ano naman po yung mga barriers ng youth participation when it comes to electoral process? Number one dyan is the lack of awareness about the electoral process. Karamihan sa mga kabataan ngayon, 17, 16, doesn't actually have the idea of what the Philippines has to offer when it comes to electoral process. Hindi nila alam na dapat pala sa mga ganung edad pinaghahandaan na ang voters registration. Even at your age, 18, 19, 17, some of you don't actually have enough awareness on sino nga ba yung mga karapat-dapat na ibinoboto? Or ano nga ba dapat yung mga pinagtutuunan ng pansin kapag tayo ay bumoboto? I think that is one of the barriers that the youth is still facing as of today. Second of that is the influence of misinformation and social media. Kasi nga po, karamihan sa mga kabataan, if not all of them, are into social media. And most of the misinformation and disinformation happens in social media and in the internet. If the youth doesn't have the power to actually fact check and to actually check the legality and evidence of something that is circulating online, the youth is very prone and very vulnerable to misinformation, and that is very bad when it comes to electoral process, kasi it could swing the decision of the youth. No, one single misinformation can change the entirety of the vote of the youth. Apathy or belief that my vote doesn't count. Yun po ang isa din sa mga naging barrier. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin, nag-iisa lang naman ako. I don't think that my vote would actually change anything in my community. And I beg to disagree, because if you could come together, if you could influence other people as well to believe in what you think that is right and truthful, I think that the youth has a lot of potential when it comes to electoral process. What it means to be a responsible voter. Ano ba yung mga ibig sabihin kapag ikaw ay naging isang responsableng, what does it take to be a responsible voter? First, you have to be informed about candidates and their platforms, of course. Kilalanin po natin ang mga kandidato, hindi lamang po ibig sabihin na sila ay sikat at sila ay pinag-uusapan, sila ang pinaka swak na mamuno, no? We have to know at least for sure their platforms, no? I wouldn't mention the name, but there is some candidates who don't actually have platforms. They have just filed, and then when media ask them to share their platforms on social onto everyone who is listening, they would just answer na hindi pa naman po ako nananalo. Siguro saka ko na po yan iisipin pag ako na po ay nanalo. And I think that is a very bad image for them, because we are voting a person not because of their identity. Ito po yung nagiging misconception po natin. We are voting a person not because of their surname, hindi po dahil sa apelyido nila. We are voting a person not because they are rich. We are voting a person not because they are popular. But we are voting a person because of what they can do and what are their platforms to offer. Yun po. Second, of course, we have to analyze candidates' records and promise, no? Aside from the records, yung mga promise na binibitawan, tingnan po natin if it's feasible, kakayanin ba siya, actual ba siya, masyado ba siyang idealistic, no? Ano ba ang record ng taong ito? We have to analyze that one. And we have to vote based on principles, not pressure or popularity, no? Minsan kasi nape-pressure tayo kasi ito yung mas marami ang sumusuporta. Kaya feeling natin nape-pressure tayo na dapat dun tayo. No. We have to vote based on our principles. Ano ba yung mga panindigan natin? Ano ba yung saan ba tayo tumatayo sa desisyon, no? Hindi po tayo nadadala dapat ng popularidad at ng pressure ng ibang tao. Most especially that you're all at a very young age, madaling maswing ang inyong desisyon when it comes to the voting process. How to choose wisely. Research candidates and issues. For example, there are a lot of polls na ginagawa ang social media ngayon. For example, is this candidate pro to this kind of bill or against of this kind of bill? And we have to research that one. And what are their thoughts about certain issues in the community? Ano bang masasabi nila sa unemployment rate? Ano bang masasabi nila sa job seeking ng mga tao? What can they say about the economy of your community? Yun, those are the things that we need to research. And ano ba ang mga paninindigan nila when it comes to those things? And of course, we have to attend forums and debates. marami pong informed debates online, most especially on national candidates, senators, vice president, president. Marami po. And I'm pretty sure that in this coming election, meron naman pong senatorial debates. And I think that we have to focus on listening to those candidates. Popular man po o hindi, we have to listen to what they can say because that would reflect what kind of people they are, what they believe in, and what they can do in the community. Of course, we have to discuss with peers and family without actually patronizing yung peer pressure, no? Discuss with them in a very healthy way, no? Educate them, but do not actually push on them believing in what you believe in because, respect them and respect their decision, but always try to educate other people. Fact check through reliable sources. Minsan kasi nagpa-fact check tayo sa Facebook lang din. And ang fact checking natin ay nangyayari sa mga Facebook pages lang din. And I think that it's a very bad decision. It's a very bad idea. Maghanap po tayo ng mga fact and evidence-based sources, no? Na kung saan pwede nating i-fact check ang mga sinasabi ng mga kandidato. Spotting fake news. Ito ay isa sa pinaka-importante when it comes to election. Question sources of information. Pag may sinabi siya, wag munang paniwalaan. Because not everything that he does and say is true. Not because he is popular, not because he comes from a very wealthy, a very known family, everything is true about him. No, we have to question each sources of information. Facebook ba yan? TikTok ba yan? We have to double check and fact check everything. Verify facts with credible organizations like COMELEC or news agencies. Huwag po tayong masyadong papaniwala sa mga Facebook pages, lalo na po kung ito ay isang paninirang puri laban sa kanyang katunggali, no? Avoid sharing unverified news on social media. Ito po, masyadong marami ito ngayong eleksyon, no? We have to avoid misinformation and disinformation and fake news on social media. And one way to do that is to actually avoid sharing unverified news. If we're not sure about it, then shut up. No, wag po nating i-share. Be a change maker. Encourage friends and classmates to register and vote. No? Kung meron pa tayong mga kaklase na hindi pa po nakapag-rehistro at mga kaklase o mga kaibigan tayo na nakaparehistro na pero hindi willing mag-vote, encourage them to vote because, explain to them that their vote actually can make a difference. Volunteer in education campaigns. Voter education campaigns. If you have the time, if you have the availability of sources, volunteer or magkwento lang kayo. Or the best way you can do this is to actually share voters education campaigns online on reliable sources. Kapag alam nyo ito ay reliable sources, you can spread that out and use social media for responsibly for advocacy. Yun nga po. If we can follow Facebook pages that focuses on voters education campaigns, we can do that. We can boost that. Yun po ang mga simpleng bagay na pwede po natin gawin to avoid and combat fake news online. Remember this. These are reminders to you when it comes to voting. Voting is a privilege and a responsibility, no? It is your privilege, but it is also your responsibility. No, responsibility po natin na na bumoto, no? Wala po tayong karapatan na magreklamo kung tayo din po ay hindi bumoto. Dahil each vote means that we are given a chance to change what we don't want in the community. Second, be informed, be proactive, and be responsible, no? Be informed. I mean to say, alamin natin ang lahat. Be proactive. Huwag po tayong yung reactive, kumbaga na saka lang tayo gagalaw pag andun na. No, let's be proactive. And of course, let's be responsible, not just offline sa pagboto natin. Let's be responsible also of ourselves online. No? Pag may nakita po tayong malpractice of voters voting process, let's be responsible to that. And let's not be an enabler of vote buying or coercion in the voting process. And remember that the future of the Philippines is in your hands. Get involved, register to vote. Yeah, you have to visit the near. I think it's closed naman kasi ngayon, no? I don't think if kailan po na naman i-open. I don't think that they're going to open it again. But if you have time, I mean in the next few elections, the next coming election, visit the nearest COMELEC office and register. And you have learn more by following COMELEC updates and other voters education campaigns. And to end my presentation, I just want to leave you with this. Your voice matters, therefore use it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yun lang po. Thank you so much for your attention, and I am now ready to answer your questions if you have. All right, I'm seeing hands, raising hands from Sino yun? Sino yung nag-raise ng hands? You can actually turn on your mic para we can acknowledge you.
Hi, sir.
Yes po. Evening. What's your question?
So, wait lang, sir. So, how can I... Wait lang, sir.
Sure, take your time. How can you? Okay, I think we can answer this one on the chat. So I have a friend of mine. She consume a knowledge about.
Sir.
Yes,
Sir,
yes, yes.
Naputol ko, sir. Ako na lang ano ko na lang.
Sige, sure.
I have a friend of mine na she consuming knowledge about how to lead an organization like Sangguniang Kabataan in our barangay.
Mm-hmm.
However, hindi siya kilala because sometimes mahuya siya and isa lang po siya ga-attend sa mga events in our barangay. So, any tips, sir, para sa akong yung friend nga to?
Okay. To your friend, if ano ba siya, babae ba siya lalaki? Okay, let's
Babae, sir, babae.
Okay, babae siya. To your friend, I think always remember that use your knowledge for greater good. What I mean by that, in a way that is very humbling. Because eventually, if you're, start small. Start in your own locality, in your purok. You can start in your classroom. You can start in your club. You can start in the school, actually. No, be participative in the school. And eventually, you will someday you will look down and nagawa ko na pala. Hindi na pala ako nahihiya. You start small. No one ever tries doing big the very first time. Start small. No? Kung nahihiya siya but still she has the knowledge, start small. Maybe she can join clubs in the school, debates competition. I don't know. Share knowledge within their peers. Be excellent about it. She can start within their purok. No? Start small. No one ever did in a very large scale the very first time. And it's okay to stumble and fall sometimes. It's very okay. It's part of life. Because success is not a destination, it's a process. It's a never-ending process. You'll never know when you're there. You'll only know when you're there, no? Yun nga, sabi nila, start small. I think that's the very tawag nito po, advice. The biggest piece of advice I could give to your friend is to start small. If you it's okay that you're not popular enough. It's okay. Start small and eventually you will go far. I think I hope I've answered your question. Can we move on to the next question if you have other questions?
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Lawrence.
Yes po, sir. So my question, sir, is what strategies will you offer to the first-time voters to avoid being influenced by misleading information or political bias po?
Or a very good question. First-time voters, medyo exciting sa part ninyo because you will now experience to vote. But one thing to actually focus is that we should not be egocentric in a way na sarili lang ang natin ang iniisip natin. We should look forward into ilang years na naman ba ang ating gugugulin para sa next election. That's 3 years for local election. What does it mean? Ang atin pong bobotohin ay makakaupo ng 3 taon. Ang atin bang boto ay worthy of the next 3 years? Or binoto lang natin siya dahil nagkaroon tayo ng pabor sa isang araw? Ipagpapalit ba natin ang 3-6 na taon para sa isang araw na satisfaction or sa isang araw na pabor? I think we have to analyze sino ba ang may mga malalakas na plataforma? Sino ba ang may karapat-dapat na mamuno? Even locally. No, we have to always remember that we have to vote based on principles. Prinsipyo po. Prinsipyo, no? That's the one piece of advice I could give to first-time voters. We have to be looking into the future and to everyone that would be affected by our vote. Hindi lang po sa atin umiikot ang ating boto. No? We should not be egocentric about it. Thank you so much for your question and I hope I have answered your question. Sa mga first-time voters po dito, wag po tayong matakot to actually walk on the path less taken. Wag po tayong matakot na gamay lang man kami. Worth it ba ni siya ipaglaban? Worth it ba siya iboto? And I don't think that it's a problem. It's not a question of popularity. It's not a question of marami ba kayo, konti pa kayo. It's a question of your principle. Ano ba ang kinatatayuan mo sa decision mo? And I think that's very important to remember when voting. Next question, please. Yes, Hamed. Oh, sige, Mark, James. You've opened your mic. Yes.
Hi, sir. Again. So, paano ko po ma-secure or paano ko po maging safe yung sarili ko if I will gonna report those mga candidates na gumagawa ng vote buyers, sir. That's it, sir.
Okay. It's a very, very, very sensitive issue. Most especially if, let's be realistic, guys. Let's be realistic. In the community that we're in right now, where politics is dirty and very messy, I think what we can do about it is to not participate. The best thing that we could do is to not participate and encourage our peers and someone we know to not participate as well. Because if we participate, we become enablers of those things. Not necessarily that I'm hindering you from reporting those people, but let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. What the best thing we could do about it is to not participate and encourage people around us to not participate as well. Kasi nga po, yun nga, if wala namang pong nagpa-participate and the more people we encourage not to participate in those kinds of things, the more chances that we can ensure that the voting process is due and just. No, I'm not saying that we should not report it, but I don't think that it's a very nice idea. Though I am not discouraging you to do that, but you're actually putting yourself in the middle of danger. I think that there are a lot of platforms that we can do that we can do something about it. One way is to promote voters education in our community. Kasi po, ang nagiging problema is that it has been normalized by a lot of people in our community na parang, okay lang naman pala, okay lang naman, okay lang na, kay dawat lang. But I think what we don't actually realize is that we've become enablers of those things, no? Nagiging channel po tayo ng mga ganoong pamamaraan. And I think that our vote doesn't actually become for greater good if it comes from vote buying. No, it's not for greater good if it comes from vote buying. And one piece of advice, simple lang. Wag na lang po tayong makialam, wag na lang po tayo, not necessarily wag makialam, but wag po tayong mag-participate in those kind of things. No? We should refrain from doing it. We should encourage people around us from actually participating in those things. No? So yun. Any other questions, guys? I think we could cater 2 or 3 more questions before we end. Because we also have our link for your questions naman. Any other questions? I think we could cater 2 more or 1 if you have any.
Hi, sir. Can I ask another question?
Yes, sure.
So my another question po, sir, is in what ways can we encourage other young people to become more engaged in the voting process?
You can actually encourage them by being a role model, setting yourself as an example to them. Kasi what's the purpose of encouraging people to vote when you yourself is not a registered voter? Diba? Setting yourself as an example. Sharing, if you are a registered voter, share to them. Uy, alam mo, follow mo itong page na ito kasi marami kang matututunan dito kung paano ba natin spot ang fake news, or actually sharing those things online, no? By doing that, you're actually spreading the news to a lot of people, because we all know that social media has a lot of reach. And yun, sharing to them, we could have a small talk. Uy, alam mo, you can actually, guys, encouraging is different. Encouraging and educating is different from pushing your own ideology to them. Huh? We can actually encourage them without actually telling them what to do necessarily. Na, uy, alam, mali man yung binoboto mo, dapat ito. No. We could actually tell them na, you know what, we could actually be more maging masuri sa ating mga ginagawa when it comes to, alam mo, maganda ba yung plataforma ng mga ganito? Ano ba ang mga gusto mong mangyari in the next 6 years? Mga ganong usapan. Uy, alam mo, bubutuhin ko tong si ganito kasi maganda kasi ang platform niya when it comes to education. Kasi sabi niya ganito, ganyan. Without actually telling me, uy, dapat butuhin mo si ganito. No. Without actually pushing our own ideology to them, we can actually encourage and educate other people. I think it's a very nice conversation to have you with friends instead of makipagchismisan on and libakon ang maestra nga nagbagsak sa inyo. Instead of libakana, I think it's a very good conversation to start at this very young age and very early stage of tawag nito, of election. Masyado pang maaga, but I think we can start actually of talking about this. Instead of panglibak sa mga maestra or classmate, we can actually do small talks with our class. Uy, alam mo, maganda pala ang ang platform ni ganito. You can actually do research about them kasi nakita naman natin kung sino ang mga nag-file, no? May nilabas naman ang COMELEC na list. I think we could actually start on doing our research about them and actually talking about it. Kung di nyo kaya sa pamilya, you can talk to your best friend, you can talk to your classmate, or you can talk to anyone, no, about that without actually pushing your own ideology to them. All right? So one last question before we end our session. Yes, Ken? Mifania? You raise your question. And Jeric, sige. One last question for Jeric. Ken, yes, you're raising your hands. Ken, Mifania? Are you raising your hand or napindot lang?
Yes, sir. How can we contribute to a fairly election and peaceful election in our locality?
Yes, we can actually participate in a fair and just election by, yun nga, sabi ko, Be a role model to everyone. Never participate kung alam mong mali. Never allow yourself to participate in those things, and to be an example to everyone. No, mahirap kasi yung magkaiba yung salita natin sa ginagawa natin. It should be reflective. It should be holistic, no? And by that way, we could actually participate in a very meaningful process of election. Meron ditong tanong, Sir, as a youth, ano po ba ang pwedeng action na magawa namin if may makita kaming negative like vote? And I think I have answered this one kanina doon sa question. Yes, Dinah Rose, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Yes po, good evening. What's your question?
Sir, what are your thoughts on people who vote based solely on a candidate's charisma is disconnected to the current situation in our society, where there's a lack of understanding between our president and vice president? Do you think can be resolved?
Okay, a very tricky question, but let me answer because those are two different topics. Let me focus first on the question of those who are voting based on popularity. And I think that we could play a very huge role on this by telling them that we should vote based on principle, not based on popularity. Ano nga ba yung mga plataforma ng taong ito at bakit natin siya dapat botohin? Instead of binoboto natin siya dahil sa kanyang apelido or binoboto natin siya dahil siya ay popular or sikat. Does it have something to do with the current situation of our vice president and president? I don't think that there is a very strong connection with that, but I think that it could be a very critical issue that we could ponder on and we could reflect on, and it could be a very good example for us on actually educating ourselves. One last question. What should we remember when we vote for a good politician? What are the characteristics of a good politician? Simple lang po. You do not look on a politician based on who they are, but based on what they can do. Based on the platforms. Wag mo nating tingnan na mabuti kasi siyang tao, supladahon man na siya, artihan man na siya. I think we could base our judgment based on ano ba ang kaya niyang gawin? Ano ba ang kanyang ibinibigay na plataforma? And we should not look on a person based on their personality, no? The characteristic, I don't think that there is a great it could be because they are actually public servant, but I think that the platform weighs higher or weighs bigger than the charisma and the characteristic of a person. Sige, very last question. Jeric, you're raising your hand. I think we could end the Q&A process. Jeric Lacuesta, you're raising your hands. Do you have a question or wala? Okay. Wala na pong tanong. Okay. Sir, okay, this could be our one last question. Sir, what can you say about political dynasty? Okay, political dynasty, I am I am put on the spot when deciding about political dynasty. Well, you know what? I do have to be very honest with you and to be very brutally frank. I do have at the back of my mind, bakit ka tumatawa riyan? I am torn apart when it comes to political dynasty. Why? Depending on what version of political dynasty are we talking about, because there are a lot of bills that have been filed in based on, yes, fat or thin, based on political dynasty. I am against political dynasty, but with reservation. I think political dynasty could be a very good avenue for talk pa and debates, because still the Congress and the Senate couldn't agree on a singular definition of political dynasty. Still, meron pa rin mga debate. Ano ba ang dapat na definition ng political dynasty? Hindi po kasi ibig sabihin na kadugo mo ang tumatakbo ay political dynasty na. Meron po tayong iba't ibang definisyon ng political dynasty. And I think that we should be very critical about it because there are a lot of issues, underlying issues about it. Hindi po naman sa playing safe ako sa sagot ko, but I think that I myself also is open for education about it because still, as what I have been reading online and I have with what I have been focusing my reading on towards the bill that have been filed against political dynasty, meron pa rin po tayong mga provisions that are very unclear. Even the BARM, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, when passing the Bangsamoro Organic Law, has the anti-political dynasty. Thank you so much. The BOL, the Bangsamoro Organic Law has the clause for anti-political dynasty, but still the parliament hasn't actually passed on a bill of what actually the definition of political dynasty is. And I think kailangan nating pag-usapan pa on a deeper lens. Ano ba dapat ang goal and ano ba dapat ang goal natin when we're banning political dynasty? Is it just to stop people from running because magkadugo sila or magka-apelyido sila? Or are we really stopping the cycle of dynasties in poor and unurbanized poor and vulnerable communities in the country? And I think yun po, ito po ay isa pang mahabang usapin pa sa Kongreso at sa Senado. And on my end, on my stand, because you're just asking my opinion on this is that I am against political dynasty, but I have reservations about it. No, because I believe that there is still a lot of room for changes and a lot of room for definition ng political dynasty. So yun po, and I think and I hope I have satisfied your questions, guys. And for all of your questions, you can actually put it down on our link. I have sent it to Ma'am Ira, and I think Ma'am Ira has already disseminated the link, if I'm not mistaken, to you guys for all of your questions. You can go through it, put it on the link. Yes, there you go, on the chat box below. Thank you so much, guys. And I just want to say, before ending, I just want to say thank you so much, guys. And I am very, very, very thankful to all of you because you have actually had the chance, not just the chance, but the opportunity to have this kind of avenue. Because at our time, we are very limited to face-to-face, and we can't do something like this at the very comfort of our home. And you guys has the avenue of doing this at the comfort of your home, and I think that is very a good advantage to you guys. And ano lang tayo, suntok lang tayo ng suntok, grab lang tayo ng grab, dahil wala namang pong mawawala sa atin kung tayo po ay sumusubok sa mga ganitong bagay. No? Let's just take this as a lesson for us. Tandaan lang po natin because your journey has just been started. No? It's just been starting. Your journey is a very long process pa. So, suntok lang tayo ng suntok, grab lang ng grab sa lahat ng pwede, and be very open to a lot of experience. So yun lang. God bless your future endeavors, and I hope and I pray that this is not the last time that we are going to meet in this kind of engagement, and abang-abang tayo because we're planning to have a lot of activities planned on for next year, and I hope to see everyone here not to participate in those kind of engagement. Thank you so much, guys. Passing on now the online stage to Ma'am Ira.
Thank you very much, Roel. As always, Gid, wala talaga say no. No? Okay. Since to those who 93, siguro mga 92 or 91 ang naiwan na lang. To those who are here until the end of this session, I said kaina aga that I'll be posting who will be your group mates. So instead of posting here or doing it here in our session, I'll be posting na lang the video sa group who will be your group mates. I've mentioned in UMS 1 kanina that there will be a possibility that the group members of each groups will come from the different sections under my class. So, I'll be basing, para ma-consider na lang ang tanan, no? I'll be basing the members of the group sa attendance sheet nga ginsend ko ang link sa comment section, not the pre-registration form since it's already closed. So make sure that you um key in the information sa attendance sheet naton. Ay, but di ko sure kung nag-close na siguro siya. Yes, you're raising your hand, Ken, ni Fania.
Wala ma'am, na open lang ma'am.
Okay. Jillian. So, I'll be recording the video of the groupings and the topics. For me to know, you will have a return output which was uploaded sa group naton. I'll be the one to choose who will be the members of the group as well as the topic na inyong gagawin. So, thank you very much for staying. Can I request for an open camera para Yes! Gemma Rose. Ay, wala lang. Ano
Ay,
ma'am?
wala ma'am, sorry, napindot.
Okay, sige. Please